You're listening to Nightbreed on Inspire Radio, and we've got Taryn from Iniquitous Monolith on the line. How you going, Taryn?
Yeah, good yourself, mate?
Yeah, really well, mate, really well.
Cool.
So let's go way back to 2015. How did it all start?
Okay, cool. So basically what happened is Linton said to the guitarist, him and I played in a band called Entrails Eradicated.
Mm-hmm.
And in late 2014, about August, the drummer ended up moving to Melbourne and guitarist had moved to America. So Linton and I decided we wanted to keep doing something while we were waiting for the guys. And, he just started writing some stuff at home and he asked me if I wanted to be involved and I said yes. And he showed me the material and we just started demoing vocals and ideas from there.
Yeah, cool. Someone told me that there's no lyrics in your songs. Is that right?
Yeah, no, there's no lyrics. So originally, as I said, we were going to be like a studio band only. And we just sort of like the amount of lyrics and the amount of effort that I have to do to put in the lyrics for Entrails and stuff is very, very different. And I wanted to try something different vocally and lyrically. And writing lyrics can be sometimes tedious. So I wanted to just get the more vocal patterns down.
Yeah.
So I was having fun just doing a lot more of the patterns and being able to come up with more disgusting sounds. So without having to like figure out how to say it. So it gave me a bit of a variety of style. So I didn't write any lyrics. Like we've got song titles which Linton's created, but yeah, there's no lyrics. I think we've got one song that has lyrics, which we sort of demoed. I think it's Lubricate the Muck Gap. So yeah, it's a bit of a nasty one, but yeah, most of the stuff is generally like horror related and gore related anyway. So even when I'm singing patterns like live, I can sort of sometimes get ideas of what I would like to put for lyrics, but at the moment I'm just having fun just like doing patterns. So as long as it sounds sick, same thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. What's the writing process? Is it pretty collaborative, or is someone just bringing a song along?
Well, originally it was just mostly like Linton. He'd written like maybe 12 to 15 tracks, and we sort of just started demoing those and finding all them out. And then we've written a whole bunch of new ones for the album that we're going to be doing. And the guys have come along, the remaining guys that we have come along and learned all the material. So it's been a very crazy ride. It's very different from other bands. Most bands get together, work out ideas, and then go to the jam room and test it all out. This stuff was already written, so Linton had already drum machined it, written it, and basically given us the finished product without vocal. So all I had to do was do my patterns, and then we just the guys that were interested in playing it live. So
Oh, that's cool. So what are the plans for the album release? Have you got a date in mind or anything like that?
Not yet. We just recorded the drums, so we're just going to take time. We've just been like the live material down for the moment, just to see what works. Because when you do a studio band, what works in the studio might not work live.
Sure.
So we've just sort of been testing it out the water, seeing what material works and what's good for us. And yeah, it's been cool, man.
Oh, nice.
No plans, nothing booked yet, like or a release date or anything like that. But we're in talks about everything. So yeah.
Cool. There's on the EP. There's heaps of amazing samples. Is everyone bringing those in, or are you is one of you in charge of finding all these kind of crazy samples to use?
Yeah, no, most of this all Linton. So as I said, like Linton had started this band up. He's the one that created the band name. He's the one that created like the idea of it being like a horror sample band as well, which also breaks up when we play live.
Yeah.
So it also adds a lot of the air and trying to bring across the horror and the gore. And so like most of the samples that Linton's done from himself, but like in the future, there's a lot of ideas. We've all got our own styles and influences, so we'll see what happens down the line. But yeah,
cool. I got to ask, you got some like extremely guttural vocals. You got any vocal tips on how to get down there?
Oh man, just listening to it for 20 years, like. When I originally started, like I used to do for Grotesque in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, and started singing for them. They were like, playing death metal music, and I'd just go watch them like rehearse, and they'd try out a couple of singers, and they'd always have like sort of slutty or Fear Factory style guys come along.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to them, you know, you guys need a death metal singer, and they're like, oh, you do it. And I'm like, oh, I can't be that hard. So I just lowered my voice and just started doing screams and gutturals and stuff, and perfected it over the years. So especially with gutturals, man, like they don't have to always be precise and audible. Like, you know, you can make it sound completely different than what you're actually saying. So that in mind, well, like when I do a bit of stuff, I don't worry about how I'm like what I'm saying. It's more about how you say it.
Yeah.
The patterns and the tone is more important than the lyrics, because I've been listening to death metal for so long. Like even my favorite band, some of the lyrics you can't understand, but I understand the pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like another instrument, eh? Like a rhythmic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to complement the rest of the guys, you know, the bands. But yeah, for singing, it's just every death metal band's different, you know. So there's so many different tones you use as well, and different shapes of your mouth that you can form, and how much aggression and how much energy you want to do in it. So yeah, I found it really fun, like playing live, like because I don't have to worry about what I'm saying. Just if I can get the evil out of me, then that's what I do.
Yeah, well, it definitely works, man. I saw you guys at Slayfest, and it's a great show. You know, that you're getting the crowd into it. It's good stuff, man. Yeah,
and that's the thing with live as well. I mean, it's very different what you hear on compared to what you hear out in the pit. Like with very technical music, so and a lot of drummer Brent playing to a click track, and we've got the samples going through the laptop. You know, all the distortions and stuff as well. So it's a very hard sound to perfect live. So we come off stage and people said great, or everything was cool. They like this part. It's really, cool for us, you know.
Yeah. You were talking earlier about Entrails Eradicated. I remember you guys. Is there any chance that we'll see that band again in the future?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, we're still technically a band. It's just been hard. Like our last show was in 2014, and as I said, Ben drummer moved to Melbourne, and our guitarist Jimmy moved to America. So we were like just doing Iniquitous in between while waiting for those guys. But it's actually been, it was like, see, we just caught up last year. It was the first time in 6 years that all 5 members were in the same room. Yeah, wow. So we were like, okay, cool. We've got material to go and just see what happens, you know. So we've all got jobs and families and other bands and commitments. So Entrails is definitely something we're just working on bit by bit, but hopefully should release something really soon, because it's been way too long. But been focusing so much on Iniquitous lately, and it's taken up a lot of the time. So as well, a lot of lyrics as well. Go really deep into it, so that takes up quite a lot of time. And I've got like just boxes of lyrics and pages and stuff that are of ideas that are put into practice. But we've got material. I think all the guys are now back in Perth, but I mean, people work away as well, so catching up's quite hard. But and I'm not on social media, so I don't speak to anyone unless I see them at gigs or on the phone. Yeah. So different times than when we started, you know. But it's great now being busy with Iniquitous with Linton. We've been. It's good to see.
Oh, we lost you for a minute there. What was that last bit, mate?
Oh, it's friend after all this time, because we're putting Entrails together. So like to be doing a new project together, and it's working really well. So it's great. But I forgot to mention before, like after we started doing the demos and stuff, Linton started putting all the Iniquitous stuff online. We started getting offered gigs, and then that's when we were like, oh well, do we want to turn this into a live thing, or do we want to just keep it as a computer thing, you know, online? So we thought we'd like to give it a go live, and we asked Brennan Knock from Nails in Position if he would be interested, and he said yes. So he came down and learnt all the material, about 12 songs worth of material. And then we got off gigs and that, and we ended up needing a bass player. So we asked from Brad Travascus from Watermonic and DFC. And they learnt all the material we did in 2015 within like a week, and started playing shows. So it's taken a lot of train of thought off other bands and projects. And for me personally, I mean, most of my focus has been on Iniquitous, and also play guitar for a band called Fossil, which was created in 2016. So that's taken up a lot of time as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, just it's good to keep busy. You know, always something on the horizon.
Hello, we lost you, man.
Yeah. Sorry, man, my phone.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Well, we're going to hear a track from the EP, Post Asphyx. Is there anything you want to say about this one before we head into it?
Well, they're pretty much all very like they've got titles, but because there's no lyrics, there's no real theme behind them. They're just general feeling. Most of them like horror movie related, something like that, or just general gore and perversion and insanity and just everything. So yeah, if I'd wrote lyrics to them, they'd probably have a little bit more of a meaning. But like for me, live, it's more just like getting that feeling across of the hate and stuff. So I mean, even with the name Iniquitous is like grossly unfair and morally wrong, So like having a monolith to come worship of all the depravity and all that stuff is really cool. So, and that's another thing. Linton plays in depravity and plays in Brad plays in Watermonic. So very accomplished musicians. Yeah. So I'm proud to be sharing the stage and be in a band with these guys. So even band practice is like awesome because we're all just mates anyway. So to be in I wouldn't say super group, but I'd say at the same time we're very accomplished in our own band. So to get a lot of praise for Iniquitous is killer, man. So we're really enjoying playing small shows and hopefully get some more material online for people to hear. And but yeah, man, very different style online as well, vocally. Like when I first started doing the demos and stuff. We'd test out different vocal techniques and ideas and what sounded good, Actually re-recorded them later. So some of the stuff we wrote in 2014, 15, Lynch actually re-recorded the first EP we did for 2020. So basically got all new guitar equipment and then we just read the EP and physically released it. So that's the Guttural Horror Slam that's out at the moment. But another whole EP of stuff to release, and we've got a whole album good to go. We're just working on it bit by bit and playing it live and seeing what works. And so keep coming out to shows and support local demo.
Yeah, cool, man. Awesome. No, looking forward to hearing the new stuff and everything. All right. So yeah, cheers for your time, Taryn. Good to have a chat. And I'll
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll see you around gigs and stuff. And I just wanted to say a big shout out to the local metal scene for all the support they've given us and all the bands and Watermonics, Suffer and Rot, Grotesque, Solemn, Maggot King, Fura, Maxi P, you name it. There's so much quality in Perth. So I really recommend everyone get out to a local show as soon as they can, and just supporting local metal. And
I agree, man. We're lucky we live where we do. We've got a lot of good talent in Perth.
Definitely. I think because we're so isolated from the rest of the country, it's like if you want to hear a brutal death metal band, you sort of got to form it yourself. And because when I started doing Grotesque stuff, like there wasn't much death metal around, so we were just playing it because we wanted to hear it. And when we started playing shows, people were like, "Oh wow, these guys really stand out." And it's like, well, yeah, there's not much else around. So, but now there's just so much quality and so many different genres, a very diverse bunch of metal in Perth. So it's enough for everyone. It's good. I've been a part of it, and Western Front. That was a big.
Oh, we've lost you again, man. Sorry.
Sorry, dude.
All right. Well, let's hear from Iniquitous Monolith. Check this out, everyone. Thanks again, Taryn. It was wicked to talk to you, man.